Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cold Hard Truth Podcast. I'm Anish Gupta, and today it is just me, and I'm going to dive right into it. We are going to be talking about the Indianapolis Colts, and if you read the title, why they should go after Justin Fields. Now, yes, this may be a little bit biased because I'm a huge Buckeyes fan, and we just saw Justin Fields essentially dominate Penn State. But with this Indianapolis Colts team, what's not to like? I mean, right now they're 5-2. They're technically first place in the AFC South. And with this team, I get pretty much everything. I get the coaching. I get the front office. I really like their GM. I love Frank Reich. I think he should be a Coach of the Year candidate. And he's got his team rolling. Aside from, what was a weird loss to the Jaguars, and obviously I think they got a bit outplayed offensively against Cleveland, but I mean, what's not to like about this team? I want to first touch on a guy who we didn't really see coming, Xavier Rhodes bouncing back, or at least I saw him bouncing back. A lot of people were skeptical on him last year, obviously. But let me give it to you this way. He's got 2 picks. He's got 8 passes defended, which is already 2 more passes defended than he had the whole year last year, and he played 15 games. He has a 65.3 rating, a passer rating allowed this year compared to a 123 passer rating last year, which is very bad. And if he made the Pro Bowl last year with those stats, I'm pretty sure he's going to make a Pro Bowl with these stats this year. So, yeah, again, 8 passes defended, 2 picks. He's looking really good. We can't ignore their offensive line with Anthony Costanzo, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly. That's the big 3 for them. Quentin Nelson, obviously, is arguably a top 15 to 20 player overall in this league. I mean, again, Darius Leonard, the dude is amazing. 85 grade by PFF. Again, All-Pro in 2018, first-team All-Pro in 2018, and then a Pro Bowler in 2019. He led the league in tackles his first year as a stud. But let's go to the offense. There are 2 problems with this team. I think it's quarterback and receiver, and that sucks because, the running game is very balanced with Jordan Wilkins, Naeem Hines, Jonathan Taylor, obviously, we were seeing. But, I mean, T.Y. Hilton was literally a product of Andrew Luck, and it's not even, close to that being determined. We had questions. Maybe he could do it with Rivers. It just hasn't worked out. I mean, he's got 250 yards in 7 games, and he hasn't had a single game with more than 69 receiving yards. That's very concerning from a guy who you know what? He's led the league in receiving at one point. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, and, I know it's every year with Andrew Luck, but, at least you expected something, all right, with Phillip Rivers coming in, and obviously, he's made it work with Keenan Allen, Vincent Jackson back in the day with the Chargers, obviously, and Antonio Gates. But that's a problem that they need to address. But the quarterback, here's what I'll say. Phillip Rivers has been, he's been all right. 10 touchdowns, 6 picks. He's won them games, but he's also lost them some games. I think he did lose that game against Cleveland, that pick 6 to Ronnie Harrison. Honestly, it broke the game open for us as a Browns fan. But, yeah, Phillip Rivers has been okay. But if you want to get this team to where they can go, right? I'm talking Super Bowls. I'm talking playoff wins. I'm talking this being an AFC contender. Listen, as soon as Tom Brady left, it opened the door. I mean, I've seen it from many media outlets too. When you were running through the AFC back in the day, it had to have gone through Brady or Manning. You had to have gone through one of the 2, or if not both, to make it to the Super Bowl. That is why only 4 quarterbacks, I believe, represented the AFC the last 20 years. Obviously, until Patrick Mahomes came in here. But prior to that, it was only 4. Now it's probably looking like you got to get through Mahomes, boy, right? And all these guys, all these teams are looking for it. Who's going to be that next team? Like I said, Baltimore coming in, I didn't trust them, right? I think we're safe to say who won the debate with me and Jack on the Chiefs versus the Ravens. I'm not going to say it for the next 5 years. Probably, though, looking in my favor. But, yeah, the Ravens, it's not that they're bad. It's just I just don't see them, hitting the heights that they were expected to because of the lack of consistency. So there are a lot of teams that can really vie for that, second spot. I mean, there's Pittsburgh, obviously. Big Ben's getting old, though, so, that's a little bit up in the air. Indianapolis is really a team that I think can do that. I mean, there's obviously Buffalo and Tennessee, but Indianapolis, look, and the guy they got to go for is Justin Fields. Justin Fields, yes, I wouldn't say it's a big drop-off, but there's certainly a drop-off between Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. And if we look in the terms of draft order, because I think they should go after him, meaning the Colts would have basically the 20 to 22nd pick, I think, if the season were to end today, and probably they will be around that when the playoffs come around. Unless they make a pretty big playoff run, then obviously it would be lower. But, we're potentially looking at a top 5 pick that they would need to get. Now, there are many teams in that order. I don't think they could get it done with Dallas. I don't think they could get it done with Jacksonville. I don't think New York would stay there. One team I'm thinking is Miami, because Miami could use those. They could get rid of that pick, which is the Texans pick. That's why it's pretty high up there. They could give that pick to Indianapolis, get a plethora of options, and really make this team even better around Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, here's what I was thinking. Potential trade scenario, right? You give the 20th pick, maybe a future second, so a 2022 second, and one of these guys like Malik Hooker, a former first round pick from Ohio State, ironically, just hasn't been able to stay on the field. I mean, his Achilles is basically made of glass. I mean, knock on wood for him, but yeah, it's been terrible. I mean, when he's played, he's been all right, but he's got to be a guy that you could get. I mean, a first round pick, who knows what happens? Maybe he fills the void that Miami left from Minka Fitzpatrick. Right? I mean, their defense is already very stout, but yeah, that's one guy. Anthony Walker is another interesting one I was thinking of. He's played great for the Indianapolis Colts, especially with Darius Leonard out. But yeah, that 21st pick and one of these guys and potentially a future second, I think that's enough. And when you get Justin Fields, you get a guy who is very, very good in the pocket, but also has that X factor. He has the it factor. And here's what I'm saying. I am going to say it on the record. The Colts are a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl contender. This team is good on all facets. And the best part is we're seeing with these young quarterbacks, give them a good coach, give them a good offensive line, give them a good team around them, and immediately out the gate they go crazy. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes are two prime examples. Even Kyler Murray down there in Arizona, I think they've given him the plethora of weapons to make it work, and that's why he's going crazy right now, right? You could even say Josh Allen with the defense and getting him Stephon Diggs, though he has slipped up a little bit, but that's fine. I mean, he's still 5-2. They're going strong. That's all I gotta say. But I think back to Justin Fields here. Can he overcome, maybe the stuff that Phillip Rivers left off, and can he take this team to new heights? I believe he can. I don't think they need a Trevor Lawrence to do that. While Trevor Lawrence is obviously a God-given talent, probably the best prospect since Andrew Luck, as we discussed in the Vikings video, Justin Fields can give you that same unexpectedness, right? We're seeing it with these young quarterbacks. Tua comes in, first start wins, albeit it wasn't all him, but, he just adds this new layer to the offense, right? We're seeing it with Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, though it's not resulting in many wins. At least we know that they can be good quarterbacks for a long time. And with the teams that, the quarterbacks are going to, right? Like my homeboy went to a good team that traded up for him, right? Lamar Jackson went 32nd pick, went to a very good culture-centric team. Same thing with the Indianapolis Colts. They have a good team around them, and they have a good culture, a really good coach who's, very disciplined. This team is very good all around. And I think Justin Fields can take this team to new heights. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I think if they get him in 2021, again, the receivers are going to be iffy. I don't know if he can uplift T.Y. Hilton in the way that he could. But, I mean, Michael Pittman, does he grow up with Justin Fields? I think that's a very interesting combination right there. Obviously, a former second-round pick. I believe he was picked 34th in this year's draft. Zach Pascal is there. I mean, they've got Paris Campbell. It's another Ohio State maybe, type of connection. Obviously, he didn't play with him. But there are just so many guys that could really step up for this Colts team. And Jonathan Taylor, who has looked tremendous, another Big Ten guy. I mean, who knows? They've got 3 running backs. Marlon Mack also comes back. This offensive line is going to help Justin Fields so much. I mean, Ohio State has, if not the best offensive line in college football right now. And imagine if Justin Fields goes to an NFL team with a pro-ready offensive line that is just, dominates the trenches and is very good in the passing game. That helps a young quarterback so much, because he doesn't have to worry, especially blindside, that's one. And two, his progressions are a lot easier, especially with decision making. Justin Herbert, you even saw it. His offensive line was flaky at first. It's very good, but there were times where they were shaky, and Justin Herbert had to make quick decisions. That's why he overthrew at times. He would throw picks. It's going to prevent Justin Fields from having to make those type of decisions and getting, that extra maybe 1 to 2 seconds that allows him to get the ball downfield, right? And I think in respect to the AFC South, this is a very good team compared to the Tennessee Titans, and I think these two would fight alongside each other for a while. Tannehill's not going anywhere. Obviously, he's on a 4-year deal. This is a very interesting AFC South with Justin Fields, if he's there, Ryan Tannehill, Deshaun Watson. Who knows what the Jacksonville Jaguars do, man? But in regards to the AFC South, I think you got a winner there in the Indianapolis Colts. Now you're looking to other teams like the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Titans, the Bills. Those are going to be some teams where it's like, okay, how will this work? But again, you get obviously 5 years of a quarterback if you pick up his fifth-year option of Justin Fields with a very young team, right? And Xavier Rhodes isn't that old. I mean, like he's another guy that, I'm thinking of, but DeForest Buckner, young guy, right? Darius Leonard, very young. This is a very, very good up-and-coming team that people need to watch out for. It's not a big market. It's not a flashy team. It's not the, oh my God, they're going to score 38 points or something like that. But with Justin Fields, who knows how good this team could be? Because right now I would say their defense is, people are giving them the notch of, top 3 defense. Obviously, they've died down a little bit on those takes. First 4 weeks, they were looking like it, though. And you know what? I'm going to stick with it. I think this is an elite defense. And you give them a piece like Justin Fields, Frank Reich, a guy who helped Carson Wentz develop. Man, this is sounding really biased. But, hey, a guy who's helped Carson Wentz develop into basically an MVP that year if he hadn't gotten hurt. Who knows what he could do with Justin Fields? I mean, the guy, in my opinion, is more talented than Carson Wentz. Doesn't have the arm. He doesn't have the arm, but he definitely has the football IQ, and he has the vision. He has the athleticism, and I think Frank Reich could really take this team to new heights, especially with a quarterback like that. And who knows, maybe Justin Fields can overcome this OSU quarterback mishaps. I mean, we've had Dwayne Haskins flop, JT Barrett. I mean, all these guys have flopped from Ohio State. So hopefully, Justin Fields, you break the curse. I've been slandered for it enough. But, to kind of wrap this episode up, thank you guys so much for watching. It was a quick, little video. Obviously, we've been very busy with college apps and stuff, just keeping it real with you guys. But, this Colts team, guys, you guys got to look out for. I mean, not many people are talking about it. I thought this was a concept that people wouldn't really think of, right? I mean, Colts getting a quarterback at 5-2, it wasn't really something you would think about. But, hey, Justin Fields, if he's available, you can trade for him. Hey, I think that's a potential trade with Miami there. But let me know what you guys think. I mean, this is a very, interesting concept that came to my mind today. And I thought, you know what, why not record an episode on it and see what you guys think. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Road to 500 on Instagram, road to 300 here, guys. Thank you guys all for the support. Follow our socials down below. Thank you guys again, and we will see you next time.